Throughout my life, I've had numerous injuries. I've broken my ankle, dislocated my jaw, busted my head open, a few black eyes, but this past November I had the scariest injury of my life. Before the injury happened, I had just gotten back to my house and I was, really excited. I had a bunch of plans to go out that night with a bunch of friends. We were about to go to dinner. I was actually going inside to shower and it had been kind of drizzling all day and the concrete was like really slick and I had on boots. And I just remember kind of jogging inside because it was raining. I slipped. There was just a stray piece of rebar in the parking lot and I just happened to land right on it. And right when it happened, I knew something was wrong. Like, my whole left leg just kind of went numb. And I looked down and, spread apart my jeans and looked, and there was just this hole in my leg. And I kind of, looked at it, and I saw, the white part of my bone, at the end of the hole. There was a bunch of people out there, thankfully, so I started yelling at them, I need to go to the hospital. And they kind of helped me just stand up, and they ended up getting me in a car and rushing me to the emergency room. So as I'm sitting there in the hospital bed, the only thing I can think of is my leg is cut open. I just remember them at first kind of taking off my boot. The nurse walked over the sink and she just poured out all this blood that was in my boot. And then my sock was red all the way over my ankle where the blood had filled up in my boot from the injury. Probably the most interesting part about the injury itself was the fact that the wound was gashed open so wide, the doctor couldn't use normal stitching wire. He had to actually use something similar to fishing wire. My whole calf muscle on my left leg was pretty much destroyed, so just the process of walking again, I remember I had to do crutches for about a month, and I was doing daily physical therapy. In the grand scheme of things, I'm honestly pretty lucky, with the freak accident like this, something way worse could have came out of it. Yes, it was a serious injury, but it definitely could have been a lot worse than the lower part of my leg.